Hey guys, welcome back to Cast with Friends with your hosts, Jose Alvarado, and our guest today will be...
Justine.
And Justine, how old are you?
I'm 22, almost 23 actually.
Oh, wow. What's your sign, so to say? What your astrological sign?
I'm a Sag.
Sag. So what's it like living your life as a Sag?
It's actually pretty fun. People say that I'm super spontaneous, and that's like one of the big characteristics of being a Sagittarius. But besides that, I'm pretty like carefree and like spontaneous and, you know, all around a good time.
So I know different types of people like have preferences as to who they like to spend their time with. Mm-hmm. I know certain types of fiery people that don't get along with other types of fiery people because it's too much heat in one room, and it kind of it snowballs into a bigger problem, and it pulls them apart. But I've also seen scenarios where if you put a fiery person around a lot of quiet people, that fiery person goes insane, and it's the same result. So what is it for you? Do you like more fiery people, or do you like people who are a little more calm? What's that like?
Well, do you know what your sign is?
I'm a cusp of a Virgo Libra, but I mean, again, I don't know much about astrology.
Do you know if you're like an air sign or
no? I don't know. Would you like to inform me?
Well, I wish I could tell you because I don't really know anybody else's sign, but I think you're an earth sign. And I mean, I get along really well with other fire signs like Aries, and there's another one. I think like Leo might be one, but I could be totally wrong. But I feel like I'm put better with people that aren't in their comfort zone, like if that makes any sense.
Right, so you like people who are willing to go into an uncomfortable area, a social...
100%, yeah. I definitely agree with that. But I think I do well with people that like start off as awkward as first, but like it takes time to like get to know them and like open them up and stuff like that. Like I get along with those people so well just because it's like a challenge almost.
That's interesting because for me it's kind of the complete opposite. As someone who I am the person you described, but for me it's a lot easier to meet someone who is open and just willing to have those uncomfortable moments, because they for me can lead that social aspect of the friendship. As to when it's relied on me, then I have a harder time kind of finding a connection with the person or finding a topic where I can uphold a conversation, this and that. But
so you like someone that like takes control of that situation, like someone that's able to like lead a conversation or like for the most, if we're talking like
about just
get
like
you out of the comfort zone or whatever.
Yes,
like it's like okay.
Yes, I do. I definitely do like those people. Like I could definitely do it on my own, but it's a lot more enticing when I have someone pulling me or pushing me to do things.
Yeah, no, 100%. Because I feel like you're the type of person that would want to like push people or like want to like get them out of their comfort zone or whatever, but
I tend to...
But you're shy at first, yeah.
I am definitely shy at first, but I definitely tend to push a little too hard with my friends. Though. Well, I guess that's coming from someone that's like met me more recently, but like to the friends I have, like sometimes I have a tendency of pushing them a little too much, and like I come off as maybe either like a little arrogant. I don't know. I whatever the case might be, I definitely do be pushy.
Okay, but do you like agree with anything that your astrological sign says about you? Like, have you read into it at all?
No, but the thing with astrology, I think, is that I think it's fun and I think it's cool.
Because you have the pattern.
I do have the pattern, right? So I do have an app that I follow my astrological sign through. But to that point, I also don't live or die by it. It doesn't control me. It's not like it doesn't make my decisions. I think it's just a cool social aspect that everyone's trending. That it's a trend that everyone got into, and it's fun. And I guess I'll just leave it at that. I don't put any weight into it, but it is what it is. Do you think it's like
No, I definitely don't live or die by it at all. I definitely read into it though, like especially about myself, and it always ends up on my For You page on TikTok, like always saying like which signs are the best together and like stuff like that, and like I'll pay attention just to see like what all these people say, but for the most part I'm like, this is all bullshit. Like I think two people that are not meant for each other are definitely like could make it work if it doesn't matter what their sign is in the end. But, I mean, I definitely read into it, though, and I think, like, on the Pattern or even, like, CoStar or whatever, any of those apps that, like, tell you so much about yourself, like, I've read into it, and I've been like, wow, that does sound exactly like me, but I'm never like, oh, that's gonna be, like, the decision I make, like, because this app told me, like, the moon is in this, so I have to do this, and I need to be cautious about this, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree with most of what you said. I think there are some like things you can pull out of astrology that do kind of fit into this like social aspect of us. Like I do feel like we do go through cycles, and there are peaks and troughs where our emotions might run high, or maybe we go through a couple of weeks of like, you know, being very cautious or whatever the case might be. But I think we do go through cycles, and like astrology kind of reflects that. And I don't know, I don't put much weight into it, but I do like find myself encountering similarities between like my daily life and how I like approach it, and how the cycles in astrology are kind of structured. I don't know.
Yeah, well, like, to go further into the pattern, I mean, like, it changes, like, monthly, and it tells you, like, your life cycle with, like, it says, like, I'm stuck in this relationship longing for 6 months, and I'm like, I don't think so, because I'm not longing for a relationship, but when I read more into it, it's like, be careful who you're spending your time around, and I'm like, what? That's like, okay, I mean, I try.
I think it can be dangerous if you get really swept up into it, and then you take things
way too literally,
and then it ends up affecting or having a negative effect on your life, because you're putting weight into this ideology. And it's a crazy world out there, because it is so prominent in social and in our world right now. And
it's upcoming. Like, I swear,
I don't know.
I've never heard about my sign until like maybe a few years ago when people really got into it.
And now
like
it's
in high
everywhere.
School and middle school, like no one was like, "What sign are you?"
Yeah, that's so
and
true.
They didn't have any freaking opinion on it either. Like there was no like,
it just wasn't
you're a
in
Gemini. Oh my god, I gotta run the other way. Like, oh, you're a Scorpio. Like, I'm gonna punch you. Like, none of that was ever a problem until just recently, when it just like boomed out of nowhere. And now I'm like, should I be concerned about Geminis and Scorpios? like I'm best friends with people that are Geminis, and I'm like, I've never once felt any of those, like, I've never seen any of those bad qualities that they say these people are. And so I don't know, it just like makes me weary, I guess, of like the people around me.
Yeah, not only that, but think about the generation that's like after us, like they're growing up with it, and it might actually affect them like
a lot. And like, who knows what that's gonna happen? Like, who knows what's gonna happen after that?
Yeah, it's a weird world out there. It's crazy how we get swept up into trends, and like even faster now than before, right? Mm-hmm. Because everything is so accessible, everything is so to the second that overnight one trend might become everything, right?
Oh my gosh, wait, I have something to say about that. So what I've noticed recently is the song She by Tyler, the Creator, and featuring Frank Ocean, right? Like, I've heard that song obviously before, but I've been seeing it on TikTok, like everyone talking about that song the last like week. Like, I've literally...
She by Frank Ocean, that came out so long
ago.
I
know, that's what I mean. But like, what I'm saying is, like, it's just coming up on TikTok, and everyone's been listening to it, and they're like, this is how I feel about this song, or like, and I'm just like, wait, like, why are we just now discovering the song? Like, this song has been out for literally years, and everyone's now freaking out over it. And it's the same thing with like,
but think about like all the 25-year-olds, how they felt when we were 14 or 13 and we found out about Nirvana, or we found out about Fall Out Boy, or the Beatles.
Like,
I'm sure they were like, you guys
in
are...
middle school, I would wear the Beatles shirt, and people like teachers would ask me, do you know everyone that's on your shirt right now? And I would be so, like, caught off guard, and I'd be like, I'd be able to maybe name like 2 of the people that are in that band, but now I go back to it and I'm like, damn, they really were testing me back then. And like, what if now in like a couple years when someone brings up the song She, I'm like, what's your favorite verse?
Yeah, exactly.
Or the song Oldie.
Yeah,
literally, people, there was a video that came up that was like, what's your favorite verse from this song? And I was like, wait, people actually like are just now hearing the song.
There's a lot of weird gatekeeping in between generations. Like, I don't understand how how the older generation wouldn't want to show the younger generation the cool things that they were growing up with. And I mean, I understand that a lot of the time it's rejected. Like, if and when I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking, you know, a 40-year-old dad shows his kids Aerosmith, and the kids are like, what the hell is this? I just like TikTok and
it's the song Fleetwood Mac, the song that just like became like very popular because that guy was skateboarding with and drinking the cranberry juice or whatever.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
And everyone was like, oh, that song is so old, like you should have like known that song from like way before, like it's like embarrassing that you're just now figuring out this song. And I'm like, who cares? Like, literally, I'm glad that people are now figuring it out. Like, it's just the same thing with us, like finding out about Nirvana and stuff like that. Like, still like same time period and stuff, whatever, but like, I don't know, people are just not.
You know what? You want to know what the consequences of that are? The consequences are children not knowing good music and just growing up with horrible radio hits, and then they get to 22, 23, 25, and that's all they know. And
they're
then,
like, I listen to 6ix9ine.
Yeah, literally. And then you're like, but do you know like Beethoven, or like do you know like any type of cultural music? And they're like, no, but like Katy Perry, but Taylor Swift. And then
oh, Folklore though, Taylor Swift was actually pretty good.
Okay, come on.
I'm not gonna lie. Okay, there's a few good songs on there that made you feel like
a lot of pop music, a lot of label.
Yeah.
Industry feed down your throat. But regardless, I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Taylor Swift. She put in the work. She's famous, and she has to, you know.
You're about to
Shout
pull
out
a
Tay
Kanye
Swift.
right now.
Shout out
and be
Tay
like,
Swift.
actually, Beyonce had the best.
Shout out Tay Swift. She deserved the. I'm not gonna go that far.
The hype that she has.
But you know, yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. You know what else is really interesting? Are you on TikTok?
100%.
Well, how do you feel about TikTok?
I used to hate it. I used to like refuse to download it because I was like, that's like, it's like Musically. Like, remember when that was like a big thing and people were like, download it, and everyone was like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
It was the same thing. Like, I thought of TikTok as the same thing as Musically, and I was like, I'm not gonna download this app that like 12-year-olds are on singing, like lip singing songs. Like, that's ridiculous. So I waited a few months, and I eventually got it, and now I'm hooked. I literally watch it every single day. I send videos to my friends, and we laugh about it, and, like, it's like Vine all over again.
I think that was the biggest part of it all. I think we were just desperate to replace Vine because it was taken away from us so sudden.
Yeah.
And people really loved it. People loved Vine.
No, that's how I found out about Cody Ko. That's how I found out about Noel Miller. Like,
right.
Those people that I still watch on YouTube to this day. And they still, like, make fun of TikTok and stuff like that. But, like, I don't know. It's just, like, that's where people started. It's, like...
Right.
But, like, people that are, like, 14, 15, they started on TikTok. They didn't know what Vine was.
Right.
And that's insane to me. Is, like, that we grew up on Vine and then we somehow merged into TikTok, and now
I remember when TikTok was mostly 10-year-olds, and like
seriously, that's what I mean.
All of a sudden, everyone and their mom is on there, like quite literally.
Yeah, no, seriously, and like Addison Rae, like she
and
has
her
a freaking
mom
song now, like she's literally featured in like songs and stuff. Like
bad team.
I went to Saddle Ranch in California, where all the fucking TikTokers and Viner or old Viners and then like YouTubers go, and I was like expecting to see someone. Actually, you know what? Dixie D'Amelio was there the night that I drove by, and literally paparazzi were everywhere.
Jesus.
And I was like, oh my god, like that's so exciting, but like I wish I would have ran into like Tana or like you know, like or David Dobrik or something. But like it was still cool that literally like these celebrities from TikTok are eating at this restaurant and people care. People give a shit about it.
No, that's the craziest. Well, that's because, the average 14-year-old cares. And because they care, their parents are kind of swept up into that because they're spending their parents' money. And that means that these big industries care because kids are spending their parents' money on this.
The Charlie D'Amelio has her own drink at Dunkin' Donuts?
What?
Yeah, it's called the Charlie.
For what? Dancing on TikTok?
No, seriously, that's what I mean.
That's
you can go to Dunkin' Donuts and go to the register and be like, I want the Charlie. And they know exactly what it is. The drink is so simple. It's literally like a caramel swirl, iced latte with, literally it's the most simple drink that you could ever make, but it's so popular and people go there just for her drink, and it says it on the cup too. It literally says when the order gets printed out, it says Charlie's drink. People go to Dunkin' Donuts to go get that drink.
These TikTokers have too much power.
Yeah.
They are literally deciding music deals. The power that TikTok has over society right now is quite honestly terrifying.
It's like David Dobrik with Chipotle too, though.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like with David Dobrik, it was like a climb. It was like a grind. He put out 3 videos a day.
Grinded, yeah.
It's not something where Addison Rae started TikTok 9 months ago.
Yeah.
8 months ago.
And she did the WAP dance, and literally, I saw this video about how much money she made from that WAP dance video, and it was just I wish I could remember exactly how much it was, but it was thousands of dollars just from her doing a dance on, a recording of her doing this dance.
Yeah.
Insane.
No, it's crazy. But that's all. I think the coolest thing about TikTok is that it's a level platform. Anyone can go and build a fan base, and all they have to do is either be funny or just put the work in. But it's possible on TikTok, and it's so. I think that's the coolest thing about it.
It's kind of admiring seeing the actual funny people make it though.
Yeah, it's really cool to see the funniest rise to the top.
Because on Vine there were those cringy people that were famous for no reason, and it's kind of the same thing with TikTok. There's some famous people that are famous for absolutely no reason. They just know how to do a dance to a song.
Well, what do you think about Bella, the girl who does the faces, and she crosses her eyes and does the bum, moves her head.
I wish I knew who you were talking about.
She really does these I guess cutesy types of you know what I mean? I mean, she's 25 and she's a grown woman, but yeah, she does these cutesy types of vines or TikToks, and she gets hated on a lot, but she has I think 30 million followers on TikTok, and
Bella is her name?
Yeah, Poach or something. I don't really know, but
there are some people that I've seen on TikTok though that do those cutesy little videos, or basically they're called thirst traps or whatever, and they get famous from them because they're just hot.
Yeah.
People on TikTok get famous because either they're funny or they're hot, or
pretty
sometimes
privilege.
both.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Pretty privilege, you're so right.
Instagram too. I feel the only place that doesn't happen is Twitter.
No, seriously, it's free ground.
Twitter's also pretty leveled out because it's all just banter and rhetoric and just fucking crazy thoughts and jokes. It's so stupid.
I could lose myself on Twitter.
Oh man,
I swear.
That's crazy. But what's your favorite social media platform?
Honestly, I want to say it's Twitter, but at the same time it's Instagram because that's where I post my vlogs and stuff, and I see pictures of people that I really care about. I don't follow people I don't know unless it's a celebrity, but I feel I follow maybe 2 celebrities on there, but besides that it's honestly most of it is just people that I actually care about seeing, and I don't know, and Sinsta. I mean, that's still a thing, right? I think that
I mean, use Insta, yeah.
It's died, but I mean, I still use it every once in a while because it's my closest friends.
Wait, what do you mean? I don't think it's died. I just think people stopped promoting their Sinsta because they got everyone they wanted to on their Sinsta to be on there.
Yeah, but we also can't be partying right now.
That's true.
And that was what it was mostly for. It was posting party pics and the things you wouldn't normally post on your Instagram.
No, you're right.
And so it's definitely died down a lot now with the last few months because there's just not much going on. And like it's almost like at this point, like if you do post a picture of you partying, people are gonna hate you for it.
Yeah, it's very looked down upon, as it should be. COVID-19 is a very real thing.
No, it's very real, and it's very like something you should be cautious about. But at the same time, like since it's kind of boring and people are just posting like things about how sad they are about the things going on in life.
Yeah, it's not a very good time for a lot of people right now.
It's like a journal entry basically for people at this point.
Yeah, that's kind of how I use it. I use it kind of just to scream in the void.
Yeah, but it wasn't always like that, was it?
Yeah, honestly. Like, if I wanted to show everyone I'm partying, I'd probably just put it on Snapchat, not on my Insta.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point.
Yeah, because definitely.
I just remember when I started my Insta, it was in high school, so, like, parties were happening every weekend. Like, I was a part of that group that would party every single weekend and would find things to do, and so I would always post, like, the most ridiculous photos, and
Videos.
Now it's like I go back and I like sometimes I stalk myself, which is like a normal thing.
Yeah, it is.
But like I'll literally like see the growth from me in high school to me now. It literally goes from partying, graduating, partying while I was in Eugene, and then it goes after that to like just random photos of me complaining about things and hoping that my friends also agree, or like they're just journal entries after that point. And it's just crazy how that's changed.
Yeah, that's like what most of mine is. But like, let the people know where they can find your vlogs and like everything else.
Oh my god, no, it's literally okay. Like, to say less, my Instagram is Justine Wetton. If you can spell my last name right, you'll find it. I post my vlogs on there, but I haven't, like, I posted one recently of me going to California, which was super fun. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, my handle and everything is the same, so.
Well, there you go, guys. Well, I love to have you guys back for another episode of Cast with Friends. This is your host and proprietor, Jose Alvarado, coming back for another great episode with my guest,
Justine. That's me.
And we appreciate you guys for sticking around. Till the next time. Thanks, guys.